everything that you have operating inside your businesses, 92% of decisions made or positions can either be done by AI or significantly helped by AI, whether it's marketing, CPA, whatever it may be. 8% of things are still purely relationship to relationship, person to person. Everything else maybe can't be replaced, but certainly can be augmented. Who's not using AI to help write an email, right? And then you fast forward on top of that, and I don't know how much you guys are paying attention to what's going on with Tesla, with Grok 5. It's about to come out in Q1 of 2026, maybe beginning of Q2. And then also you have the Optimus robot Gen 3 that is at some point, we all know Elon and his timelines, but some point between the next 1 and 27 years from now, he will come out with this. And his belief is that it's drastically changing the world because you have the goods and services and labor. And now you've got labor, like basically unlimited, quote unquote, unlimited, cheap or free labor. And the last time you saw that at magnitude was when the Egyptians built the pyramids, right? This is a significant situation that could maybe cause a massive shift. If you have this potential for unlimited cheap labor, data centers in the future, maybe they get solved in space with SpaceX, maybe they don't, but you've got this unbelievable amount of compute, this unbelievable amount of energy, a lot of people probably losing their jobs because of AI. Warehouse positions are likely going robotic. A lot of fast food likely going robotic. A lot of those entry-level jobs that were never supposed to be careers that turned out to be that way are going to disappear.
Yeah.
So how do we factor all that in? Even if we get the data as good as we possibly can, the stuff that we know is coming down the pipeline over the next 1, 3, 5, 7 years are disruptors that we've never seen before. Yeah. So how are we looking at all that? How do we factor that in? All of a sudden, this turned into a confetti-filled piñata instead of a couple things that we're looking at. So what are your thoughts on all that?
Now we're really going down the rabbit hole.
No, and it's not even a rabbit hole. It's a really important discussion, and we've talked about it on our podcast before. I've done presentations on this before, and so I'm gonna kind of, unless we have another 3 hours, we can't go too deep on this, but right. We could easily talk about this for the next 3 hours.
We'll have you back on.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm happy to. Let me start with, I agree with everything you just said. I think AI is going to be hugely deflationary. And when I say deflationary, I mean it's going to force prices down because labor costs are going to come down so significantly over the next however many years. And I think that's going to be a shift in our economy. It's probably going to be a shift in the global economy. And it's going to be something that is going to change the world. Anytime you see deflation, typically deflation's a bad thing for the status quo. And I think we're going to have to shift a lot of our thinking around labor, around employment, around universal basic income, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think it could have a massive impact on real estate values. I've said that the biggest risk to real estate over the next however many years is AI, simply because of the deflation. Basically, wages coming down. We talked about this a few minutes ago. As wages are going up, that's good. People are making more money. Housing values are going to go up because people can afford more house. As we see deflation in labor costs and pricing, we're going to see wages go down. And so when wages go down, people can't afford as much house and housing prices go down. So I think this is a huge risk. I think everything you said is absolutely true. Here's the place where I don't quite agree is the timeline. I know a lot of people think this is a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year problem. I think this is a 10 to 20 year problem. And I think as a real estate investor, if we're thinking out 10 to 20 years, this absolutely has to figure into our thinking, even 7, 8, 9, 10 years. I just don't believe, and I'm a technology guy, doesn't make me any more right than anybody else. But just my perspective is that we anticipate that there are going to be impacts from technology generally a lot faster than those impacts actually take place. I know what it takes to build and produce and sell and productize technology, and it's generally a lot more than people expect. Yeah, V1, alpha, beta versions of technology can roll out quickly, but by the time they become to the point where they're productizable and built in mass quantity, especially hardware, is a lot longer than people expect. So I think this is a 10-year problem, a 15-year problem, a 20-year problem. I could be wrong, but I don't think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-year problem.